Hello.
What do I do with my hands?
I think we just go with whatever. Just go with the flow. Be cool.
I'm gonna Ricky Bobby it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you
Does
do that.
Get
You
that
do
reference?
that. No.
No.
Sorry, man.
Well, fair.
Welcome to the Underbelly Hours. No, sorry. Welcome to the Underbelly After-Hours.
After-Hours. Yeah, we're a late night talk show now.
Take off your coat and stay a while!
Like listening to new music? Want to know a band before they get popular? Tune into the Underbelly Hours, Sunday nights at 6 p.m. on WRSC 88.7 FM, and discover the best of local, unsigned musicians. Don't miss out on the next big thing.
That's right. It's extra content, extra bonus content, only available for you people who eventually subscribe to us on Patreon. And the reason why we're doing this extra content is for a couple reasons, right? One, just to have fun, and just like goof around a little bit more. And two, is to talk a little bit more in depth about things that we don't get to have time to talk about on the show.
Because we got to dedicate it to the artists.
That's true. This is so true. Lovely, lovely people, but sometimes we don't get to talk about everything that we want to get to. So we also want to maybe try out a few drinks from local places.
Shout out local businesses, our local breweries. We like to indulge in a drink or two every now and again. A bevy per se, with quite possibly the boys.
That's true.
And we would just, we'll give a shout out each week of what we're drinking, and this will be a much more relaxed format.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
But still the same insightful commentary on what's going on in the music world, our jams of the week, what we've been jamming to, both local and a little bit more of a wider audience.
Wider taste.
Wider taste.
Uh-huh. And it's a segment where we get to talk a little bit more with our lovely new cameraman, Josh. If Josh can come down to the floor here for a second, we can introduce you to our lovely audience.
Hello. All right, now get out of the shot. All right, bye. You're ruining it.
No, wait, Josh. Josh has to say. Wait. You have to say. Who are you, Josh? What's your name and?
Hi, I'm Josh.
My
name's Josh. And I work the camera for Underbelly Hours, and I'm the guy that's pushing the buttons and doing all that fun stuff back there. Oh.
Really cool editing there too.
Yeah, he's doing all the editing for the clips that we'll be releasing and whatnot, and so I think actually let's release this episode to everyone first.
This one's gonna be to everyone. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Just to let people get a taste of what we're gonna be then pulling the curtains over.
Okay, sounds
for
good.
Only the VIPs.
Well, that's good that I said
eventually
paying for this on Patreon, because we can still keep that part. Cool. All right, nice.
Bonus episodes for only $100 a month. Coming soon.
Probably way
maybe
less than that. Maybe
100th of that.
Maybe, yeah.
Or 200.
200 sounds pretty good right now.
Seems fair. We don't want to sell ourselves too short.
That's true.
But, we want to make this a really cool show that you can enjoy regardless of, what guests we have on that week. Just something that you can tune in consistently, know what you're getting each time, and just, have fun with your two favorite local hosts on the scene.
True. Oh, and hopefully too, I think it would be great to have a goal of eventually bringing in your guys' questions too about the scene or entertainment, anything that's going on, and we can make like a whole community around this and talk about these crazy things happening. So we'll even brainstorm a little bit of ideas on these episodes too. Like one that I'm kind of excited about, if we get enough, back and forth with you guys, is like, and I beef up my internet, live streaming albums and being able to listen to an album with the community at the same time, simultaneously, I guess, or whatever word you want to use. And other sorts of
so we can talk
as well.
in chat, be like, oh my gosh, that bass line! Because I think there's many things that this pandemic has brought to light, but one of those things is just how impactful music sharing is.
100%.
Sharing your favorite tunes to being able to experience that at the same time with people in the same room or virtually, but being able to listen to it at the same time and point out those parts that like just get you amped.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've missed extremely.
100%, yeah. But that's all going to come in the future. I think without further ado, we should kick things off. I'm really thirsty looking at these cans here. So let's get things going. Josh,
we've been waiting because we
come over here and help us.
Such a good visual here.
Yeah. So today's drink of the week, if I'm going to be able to crack this open, maybe I can't crack. You can crack
this. That's great for audio. That's great for audio.
Today's drink of the week is an Imperial Chocolate Stout from Hopewell Brewing Company. It's supposed to go to Elmhurst Brewing Company, but they got a case of COVID. Someone got a case of COVID,
so
they shut down for a little bit, which is the right thing to do to make sure that people were safe. I went to Hopewell Brewing instead, and I've actually never been to Hopewell Brewing, but I've heard really good things about them. They're a brewing company in Logan Square. They currently are also doing taking donations for Brave Space Alliance, and they do all of their brewing in-house, so very exciting.
Well, here's to hoping this goes well. Crack.
Oh, God. Ready?
It's brown!
No shit.
Wait.
Cheryl.
Right you are, Josh. Right you are.
Wait. We need your facial reaction. We probably should. I didn't bring any because I'm an idiot. Damn.
Oh, no, we're good. We're good.
We're good?
We'll just let it sit. Where there's Adela's jacket.
I was gonna say, there's bowl, Blackhawks bowls. What is it?
Maybe not use it. Use the one that's a little bit more.
I'll see if I have anything in here.
Woven, whatever blanket that is. Weaved, or I could just use.
Okay, I don't have it. It's fine. I could use my jacket. I don't care. No.
Can we cheers? Is that
let's cheer.
vid appropriate?
Let's cheers and figure out this situation. Figure it out.
So I've never drinking a stout out of a can before.
I Guinness out of a can one time, and I hated myself.
See,
you rightly should.
I just drink beer, and I don't care about what form it comes in. So, yeah, I don't know.
Filthy
Is
casual.
Good? Is it good?
First sip. Wow,
that's interesting.
That is mighty.
I really like that.
That is good.
Dang. I think you can actually taste the chocolate in it.
Yes.
And some of these you don't taste the chocolate.
It even says on the can with cacao.
I can taste the cacao.
Cacao.
No, gosh.
But yeah, I know we've talked about this before, Adela, that we prefer the darker variety of beers.
We do.
So when you texted me saying that the first one was going to be a chocolate stout, I was like, that's my jam. That's my style. That right there is just how everything should be.
Yeah. And you know what? It's great because this is a really great dessert drink. Like, I can just drink this for dessert. Don't eat nothing else.
I mean, I'm a disgusting human being. I can drink this with any meal. Or maybe not a disgusting human being. Sorry, let me correct myself. I'm an alcoholic. I can drink this with any meal. No, I'll go to 302, another great place in Wheaton, local burger joint with some home brews. And it'll be lunch. I'll be getting a fat burger and fries. And then I'll get this thick dessert stout. And I'm just like, I don't care. I don't know if I agree with that though, Dan. I can't do a dessert stout with a meal, but give me all the carbs.
To each their own. I think
double gluten bread for the bun.
I can't get over the cacao aftertaste too. I think it's lovely. I love it.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to Hopewell. You got 2 new fans here.
You do. Potentially 3. Back in the back. 3 in the back. 3 in the back. There we go.
That's sorry, forgetting about the behind the scenes people.
It's fine.
I used to be an actor, and that's where that comes from. Not giving a shit about the people who actually make it happen. All right.
Josh,
We make
love
it look good.
Yep. So, let's kick it off. Or we've already kicked this off. Let's continue kicking this off.
Now that we have the drinks, let's
With-
go
with
to the
some
jams.
music, with some jams.
With some jam.
Shall I start this off?
You start it off, yeah.
All right. So I'm first gonna talk about what I've been jamming to, like
The mainstream.
the main. I mean, I don't know if you can call Less Than
Well-
Jake mainstream, but
The-
bigger than
the
your
not- yeah.
local act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, further reaching audience.
The big boys.
Great ska punk band. One of the, in my opinion, the great in the great three, maybe four. Yeah, I should probably say four. In my opinion, it's like Streetlight Manifesto, Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish, and then Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Real Big
for
Fish
me.
is third. Huh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Got to kick them down to the third. It's
Huh.
you know, after so much of it, it's kind of.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan. But,
Yeah, they. I mean, Less Than Jake can write songs that still hit you with some realism, and Real Big Fish is, I feel like, always just trying to be a little bit more tongue-in-cheek and comical with their songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, it's just like, all right, I get it. Like, you got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah, because it's their shtick, so I
Yeah.
think 100%. I agree with you there. Sure.
Less Than Jake is has a little bit more of a depth
Bigger scope. Yeah, that's true,
to
probably.
their songwriting, and they
I don't know,
released a
actually.
new album.
I haven't really listened to much Less Than Jake. I only saw them once live at Riot Fest, but I haven't really checked out
And
their
they're amazing.
discography. It was
They were
good.
amazing.
The
Actually,
crowd, whew,
Yes,
great crowd.
Ska crowds are the best crowds.
Yeah,
I will go to the grave with that. All right.
everyone
You don't
was
have to
having a good
fear the
time.
mosh pit. You go into it with loving arms, and everyone accepts you with loving elbows, and it's great. And it was never more apparent to me than that Riot Fest, or maybe it was the Riot Fest before. But then I had to stick around.
The one that we were both at. That one.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I think it was the Riot
2019?
Fest prior.
2018.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was waiting at the stage to get good spots for Incubus. And there's this one metal band, or screamo band, or whatever the hell you call them. I think it was Under Oath.
It was Under Oath.
It was Under Oath. And those people should probably see some psychiatrists. They were out to hurt people in that pit. They were like throwing fists and punching the air and just not even looking
Isn't
where
fist
they were
like
going.
a big no-no for moshing? Or I don't know. I don't know mosh etiquette.
Because I don't go into those crazy,
So,
insane asylums that you call a pit.
I mean, if it's therapeutic for some people, as long as nobody like really gets hurt, I guess.
I saw
just
some
to
people
play
getting
devil's advocate.
Fucking whacked.
No,
But
anyway,
shown some light on how nice and loving ska crowds are. And,
all right. So Less Than Jake then is the band we're talking
Less
about
Than
here.
Jake. Check out their latest album, Silver Linings. To me, it's kind of a return to their more like 2000s ska punk vibes. Like, I don't know, it seemed more like classic Less Than Jake and better production. I was a fan of it. Some songs did have a little too much of a poppy vibe to it.
Overproduced, maybe? I don't know.
No, just like melody.
Okay.
The melodic writing on some songs were just a little too poppy-esque. But then there's, honestly, the songs later in the album really hit me. It was like just true Less Than Jake ska punk.
True Jake.
It was good shit.
Okay.
Because I was kind of falling off for a bit. Their releases prior were okay, had some good tracks, but some of it was just like, more of the same. And this one felt like a return to the OG.
So what you liked them for in the beginning?
Yeah, so it's fun. It's been getting me going. Brighter outlook on the cloudy days of January. And also, what's been the soundtrack to those cloudy days when I like to go on a long stroll and just unwind is I love instrumental music.
Yeah.
Just to be a nice
I think
soundtrack,
I know
nice
where you're
backdrop.
going with this.
And Ryan Herrick.
Our man, Ryan Herrick. Rather your man, I should say. You bring
he's
him up
my
a
man.
lot.
I love
I'm
you.
just saying.
I love you.
Ryan, he brings you up a lot.
I do.
He does.
You make great music, and I'm a huge fan. And your latest instrumental singles have just been so
They're very
smooth.
yes.
They're nice. They're chill. They're great. They're ambient. They're ethereal. They're earthy. All the great things.
I'd say they're very like introspective too.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of just let yourself go with the flow melodically
Yes.
and musically, and everything still also interests your brain. It's not exactly like the meditation music that you like turn off your brain to listen to, because it's like so drony. For example, it follows really beautiful melody lines. You have something happening in the background for your brain to engage with, which is something that I really love. I really, really love about good instrumental music like Ryan Herrick's.
Yeah.
So I'll agree with you there. Mm-hmm.
He said that this latest album that's going to be coming out was really inspired by his Friday morning meditation live streams that he started.
I meant to go to those, and I never woke up early enough to do it. Did you ever make it?
I mean, virtually.
Virtually? Oh, yeah, virtually. Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I made it to the chat.
Mm-hmm. Good on you, man.
Yeah, no, because I was always... when I should have been doing my job at work, I would be on Facebook sometimes, and...
Yeah, beautiful.
It would be... His live stream would pop up and be like, perfect!
Yeah.
And I was able to... It got me through some stupid mornings at work. So thank you, Ryan Herrick. And because, we won't get flagged or anything, we can play a snippet.
Let's play a snippet.
So on the Underbelly After-Hours, I don't think we're going to be playing full length... Oh, could you turn it on real quick, the speaker?
Thanks. Joshy.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be playing full songs.
Probably not.
In full length.
We'll link them to, we can make a playlist maybe or something after the fact. That would be
for sure.
Cute,
But just for the format of this, our bonus episodes, we're going to keep it more focused on, the conversation, the topics. And just give you a little bit snippet of the tune. So his latest one is Inside Your Dreams. And it goes a little something like this.
I don't know what effect he uses there for that guitar.
It's almost like an Evo.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
But it's still got that rhythmic groove.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ooh, look at that dissonance right there. Like that chord is crunchy. Crunch! Woo! Gorgeous.
Ryan, I love you.
I get the feeling there's gonna be a lot of confessions on
Of all my
Underbelly Hours after.
all my man crushes in the local scene.
Yeah,
they're all coming out here. All right, and fade.
Dang.
So yeah, that was about a minute of that track. As you can hear for yourself, it's just beautiful. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to be able to listen to that while swinging on a hammock at a lake house. Shout out to my boy Sean.
Sounds like the life.
Yeah.
If it'll happen this year, we'll see. There's some beef here. I don't know. We're gonna
No.
skip past this. Okay.
Right.
I don't know.
So,
I'm just a little.
It's not beef.
If you're a fan of the show, you probably know Ryan Herrick. Go follow him if you haven't. And if you don't,
He actually hasn't been on the show in a while, so we should
he
bring
needs
him
to come
back.
back.
He needs to come back.
Well, because he went on the whole jab thing
Oh
for a
yeah,
while.
right.
Joined the big band, the big band jab, which is also
Great. Yeah, fabulous guys, fabulous for sure.
But yeah, so he's back doing the solo thing, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And the artwork's really cool too.
Yes.
Very
Okay, this is gonna sound very
colorful.
stupid, but it reminds me of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, it does.
Okay, I
that
had
doesn't
to
sound
say
stupid
it.
at all.
I had to say it. I know that wasn't what you're going for, probably Ryan, but that's meant to be a compliment.
It's still
It's
still
a
complimentary.
compliment.
Right.
100%.
All you.
So I've been listening to. We're gonna start with mainstream as well. Quite a few different things. As maybe some of you know, but maybe not all of you. Since we've taken a break from the Underbelly Hours, I actually was promoted at work. So I'm now an on-air personality on WPNA 103.1 FM.
Round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you. Which means that I listen to top 40 music all day, which for somebody who is in the local scene took a while to get used to, I have to admit. Luckily, though, what WPNA does that's very cool is they do local music all around the world. Or sorry, not local. Top 40 music all around the world. So at least there's some sort of variety within that, and we don't have to listen to just, like, for example, the same 5 songs over and over again like they do at B96 or Kiss FM, which God help those DJs, because I don't know, I would bring, like, headphones to work and just listen to other stuff, I think. It's really, really bad the way that those shows are. And I'm going to say it because it just is. It's really bad how they're run. So I mentioned top 40 around the world because the song I've been jamming to a lot recently is Malinowy Mus by Barwiński and Michał Szczygieł.
Right. Yeah. Total mainstream top.
Well, this is
number
something
one. Billie Eilish, Move Over.
This is something that just came out in Poland, actually.
Okay.
So, Michał Szczygieł is a guy who's been kind of making the rounds, doing a lot of collabs in top 40 type of music in Poland. But Barwiński, this is his debut single. And what's really cool about this song, Malinowy Mus, is it translates to raspberry mousse. And they use the theme of raspberry within, like, a lot of the lyrics and also within the theme of the music video. So the music video has, like, really beautiful, like, camera angle shots. A lot of pink and random stuff is brought out. And aesthetically, visually, it's so cool. And then I looked it up, Barwiński, later, and I found out that not only is he an artist, but the reason why everything looks so beautiful and cool is because he's a fucking art director for Def Jam Records.
Oh, shit.
So that's why the music video is gorgeous, and I highly recommend you go check it out. I might link it in a playlist if we're going to do a playlist later.
Oh, we're doing a playlist.
Because it's so cool, and I'll show you too maybe later, Dan, since we didn't play your mainstream song. It's just so beautifully done, the lyric video. Even if it's not necessarily, it's top 40, it's not the deepest material ever, right? It's about a girl, comparing a girl to raspberry mousse. She's so sweet like raspberry mousse. How original. But it's very, it's super chill. It's helped me get through a lot lately, so I really enjoyed that song. But as for my non-top 40 pick, I would have to go with an artist who I've been listening to a lot because of something that I was forced to do for work again. I'm trying to pitch, actually this is something that hopefully will also become the Underbelly Hours. I'm trying to pitch an hour-long show on the FM station I work for local music. And if it works, Dan and I, and hopefully Josh too, if he has any input, will be creating a playlist every hour, or every week for... You don't have to help if you don't want to.
Every hour. Damn, let's go.
Every week. Sorry. No, that would be really stressful. Every week for, like, people to listen to on the radio. Just local artists. So I had to create a list of, just because he was interested about things that came out in 2020, my top 20 albums of 2020 of local artists as part of my pitch. And one of those artists on that album list is Thompson Springs.
Yeah.
And dang, that was a band we discovered kind of in the middle of last year, I want to say, because they released it in July, I think July 31st, 2020, something like that was the album release. So we must have interviewed them somewhere around then.
Yes, but I feel like they sent us, like, the email... Much earlier. And that's when I first heard what they had out already, and I was like, damn. Mm-hmm. And then they sent us, like, some of the unreleased tracks, and I was like, shit.
It's beautiful. Actually, if you could start typing up Thompson Springs, and I'll start explaining a little bit more. Thompson Springs is a group from around here that
Spotify?
Let's do Spotify. Rock really well. It's like a kind of more laid back, almost like I get kind of... at times a little bit like California, Eagles, Steely Dan vibes, it's not necessarily something that's very fast-paced rock, it's much more laid back, but there's something very nostalgic about it, something very warm too, like the kind of sound you'd get from like maybe a vinyl a lot of times you get in their music. And I was listening to it actually on the way here in the rain with all of this like beautiful, lush instrumentation, almost like summertime vibes in the middle of the rain. It was so cool. So definitely one of my favorite albums that released last year. And I think we could do, it's a little cheesy, but I want to do Over the Hill, I think, as the song we showcase. Just because it's a good mix of some of the more softer vibes, but also rockier style that they get into within the album as well.
All right.
So let's play a little bit of it. I love that guitar tone, man.
Yeah, the tone is already right off the bat.
Hoi.
I saw your life and you saw mine. Yours wasn't pretty, mine wasn't fine. But when I wait,
And the way those like harmonies come in subtly. Woo!
Not overpowering.
And this part. Little organ in the background comes in.
The way it lands.
Change up there.
Did I hear a 7?
Beautiful. Yeah. I love the way they play with that like reverb. It's just enough, you know? It's a really fat tremolo or something.
the cat crosses fast, then it turns back home. I can't forget.
It's just got that head bobbing feel to it. Like you can't not head bob.
Something like nostalgic about it.
Yeah.
It's what?
Smooth bass playing.
Smooth. Oh, the bass playing. Yeah, damn. What song is it? Siren or Deadly Stare? Holy shit, the bass line.
Yeah. Should we sample that
So
real quick?
good. Yeah,
find the
let's
bass.
play it real quick. Skip ahead a little bit. Was it Siren or Deadly Stare? I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's definitely Sirens. Skip ahead a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yep.
You know the part? I'm so excited. Right there. Go back a little more.
Yep.
Ooh, it's so simple but so nice. Just the way it's used to build it up too
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's very like
That's what
McCartney.
Yeah.
Very, very Paul McCartney.
Right.
There it
Definitely
is.
getting like just like 60s, 70s kind of vibes from this. It's can I say this? It's what Greta Van Fleet kind of wanted to do with their music. You know,
Zinger.
where they they're definitely heavily influenced by that type of music, but they
Yes.
have their own original sound.
And that's the key, folks.
And that's the key. We're just
Originality is key.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Alright?
not
People see
forced.
through fucking copycat bullshit. It's alright to be, totally heavily influenced and inspired by your favorite band.
Yeah, as we've
Alright.
just demonstrated, it's totally cool to be
Yes.
in love with music and musicians and bands, but like,
But you gotta be able to find your own spin on it. You gotta incorporate your own soul into it to make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
And just a little aside, now that I'm going to digress on this,
mm-hmm.
There's a lot of bands where their first
Ooh, yeah.
album is pretty suspect.
It's pretty sus.
It's pretty sus, if you know what I mean. Of like, all right, we know who you only listened to in high school. We get it. But by the second album, it's developed.
Yeah,
The influences are still there, but they're coming into their own
Mm-hmm.
with it.
It's always hard to figure out what sound you want to go for.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. We all have to start by
totally
emulating.
understandable. Right.
We all have to start with covers.
Mm-hmm.
But you use that to kind of unlock your own imagination.
Right.
Right.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Unlock your own imagination. And, I mean, even if you go back and listen to the first Rush album, that
Not that I have, but yeah.
that also sounds exactly like Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
It's so Led Zeppelin-y, but even with the first album, it's still like, all right, this is still Rush, but, I mean, guys, come on. Led Zeppelin much?
Mm-hmm.
Or even one of my favorite bands, Incubus, their first album is so Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
It's, you know...
Damn, now that we're on this train, I think Queen's first album has really super heavy Led Zeppelin influences.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
For
Queen one?
Sure. Queen one, totally.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
So it's not
Coin
like...
and Case, right?
Yeah.
You know.
But in Greta Van Fleet's case, they're already releasing new singles for their next album, and it sounds the exact fucking same. Mm-hmm. And they just sound like shit live. I'm sorry, but God, their appearance on whatever show it was, like, tune your fucking instruments.
Was it SNL? No, it was a late night show, right?
Yeah, it was a late night show.
I don't remember.
It was like the guitar was out of tune. The drum, I don't know what they were doing with the drums, but they sounded like shit. I don't know if they mic'd it like shit.
That could have been the miking issue, though. You know, drums are always finicky.
And then,
like that.
I don't know, that guy, he has such potential, the singer has such potential, but he just needs training. And people could be like, oh, well, you're full of shit, you don't know what you're talking about. I love his voice. I'm like, but it's
the longevity of it too, right?
Preference thing when it comes down to it. But what I hear is forced, like, when he's trying to get that rasp in it, it just sounds like almost throaty and gurgly a lot of the times.
Which
like,
isn't that bad for your voice? I'm not a singer, but...
It's horrible for your voice. And it just doesn't sound like he has control over it still. So it's either get your shit together or maybe just find your own style so you don't have to try and reach for Robert Plant's voice. Because, I mean, Robert Plant is Robert Plant. Mm-hmm. And you're you.
I don't want to go off this train too much, but do you think, to what extent do you also think it might be the label? The label's influence on, like... We know that this stuff sells to, like, 40-plus people. We want you to keep doing this the way it's doing it.
I'm sure that's a huge part of it.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like it's the job of both the representatives of the band and the band themselves to realize that it might not be working the way you want it to be working. Like, yeah, you're popular, but for all the wrong reasons.
That's true.
You're going to become the next Nickelback.
What do you think?
You are going to become the next Creed. You already are pretty much there. And you could have had a shot at not being that, but if this second album is pretty much the same as the first, which it looks like it's going to be,
I think
you're
Josh
pretty much
has
cementing
your argument, though.
You're pretty much
a little
cementing
devil's
your fate.
advocate for you.
No,
Yeah.
not a devil's advocate.
No?
It was just a follow-up question. What do you think of their claims that they're more influenced by Aerosmith than Led Zeppelin? They've gone on interview and said that.
They also said that they were more influenced by Rush than Led Zeppelin.
Which both were
I mean...
influenced by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. But, I mean, when you listen to the music,
I think...
Like, I mean, that was like me with Tonic Freight Train when everyone was like, whoa, you guys sound like the Chili Peppers. Is that what you're going for? It's like, but I also really like this and this and this. Even though I'm also
You're a huge pepper
slut
fan.
for peppers.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you
Also,
think
Josh...
that's just like naivete? Because they're still, they're barely 20 now or something like that, right?
Really?
Yeah, they're young kids.
They're very
Oh,
young.
then they're kids. Yeah, they're definitely still trying to figure out who
Okay,
they are.
Led Zeppelin
think
were pretty much
Led
kids
Zeppelin
too.
was kids.
Well,
Yeah.
100%. But especially with probably the direction that they're getting from their representatives and stuff, I don't think it's necessarily all their fault. Like, they have to, sure, wake up and realize they have to find their own sound, but at this point, the fact that they're famous and everything like that, I mean, you know, to, like, a bunch of 20-year-olds, barely 20-year-olds, that's a huge influence, right? So they don't want to necessarily lose that. I don't know. I'm putting myself in their shoes, too.
It's a really different culture.
So what you're
60 years
saying
later.
It's a
is
super
that-
different culture. Yeah.
They're sellouts.
Yeah. No, they are. They are.
Okay.
And I think that...
But you don't
I
think
mean,
it's
'cause-
completely their fault and
Yes.
they shouldn't be...
Right. I think that
given all the shit
they'll wake
because-
up
Yeah.
to finding their own sound because they have the potential. As long as they can stick together. Because the problem is with bands, you start to fight, right?
Yeah, right.
Can you stick together to actually, live long enough and find your own sound. That's another big problem.
Hey,
that
I'm
exists.
rooting for them to find their own sound and actually make something original and like fresh.
Right.
That's another thing. Is like this doesn't sound fresh because it's so much imitative of what we know, and we know what we know, and that's better. Like they're not doing it better, and that's another problem. It's like if you were actually superseding what you were being influenced by, then like okay, well, sure,
yeah,
maybe
because
they're
then it makes your own
like,
thing, though, right?
Right, but they're
It
not.
goes back to originality. It goes back to
But I'm rooting for them to get there, even if they keep down this road for like third album, fourth album, and then fifth album is just like this masterpiece of originality. I'm not going to be like an asshole. It's like, oh, it still sucks. It's like, no, I'd be like, finally, let's go, guys, come on.
For sure.
So.
Also, side note, because Josh is all the way over there, if you want another beer, you can come ahead and grab one, because that's why I bought 2 packs instead of 1.
Thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to make it clear.
Because this is so
This is
good.
really good.
Is
Because
y'all need to crack open a beer wherever you're listening to this.
you do.
Even if
A
you're at work,
Hopewell
on a
Brewing.
train, at
Don't crack
daycare.
open a beer at work.
I don't know the age range of our audience. But wherever
Don't
you
crack
are,
open
wherever
beer.
you are, crack open.
Because you can taste the chocolate in here, like the actual chocolate. The actual chocolate.
Chocolate! I always hated it. There we go. All
There
right,
we go.
but
Beautiful. Okay.
I think,
Anyway.
now we don't ever have to talk about Greta Van Fleet again.
There we go. We need to get it out of the system.
We had to get it out of the system. First episode. It
There we go.
happened. We're sorry we digressed. It's out there now. You can clip this. We can make it a clip. Post it. There's our views on the fleet.
On the fleet, exactly. Which I guess gets us into, since we started talking about fleet anyway, entertainment news at large. I think branching into some of that stuff would be good.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Let's continue with our opinions.
With our opinions. And I want to bring this up because a few things are happening, right? So we had Congress pass...
Just a few.
Just a few. Just a few things. Just
a few things in this past.
Congress finally passed the gosh darn Save Our Stages bill, which was in Congress since July, mind you, along with the whole package for COVID-19. I think
Good
it's about
hustle
14.
there, guys. Good hustle.
It only took you 7 months, but you got there. Which includes, was it $14 billion? $14 billion for the industry, I want to say, because the whole thing's like $900 billion or something.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Because it was included into the
the
CARES Act or
the
whatever.
the bill that just released.
Right.
The
The latest relief bill.
which is really great. That's a huge step forward to helping venues stay open after during this whole pandemic. Another thing that's really interesting about the act that just passed, though, is that they created qualifications for it. So it's not just, a major concern when the news first broke was that Reverb Nation's going to get all this.
Free for all.
And, well, no, not free for
Well,
free for all in the sense that, like, Reverb Nation's going to get all of it. All the big venues are going to get all of it. And nothing's going to go to the local venues. But I think if you prove that, like, you have something like around 60, you need to make up, like, 60% or more of the spending revenues that you've, like, wasted or something like that.
Yeah.
You can qualify for the bill, which is actually huge because it gives local venues a shot at some of the funding.
And you can't be like one of the other stipulations is, to try and make sure that it's local, independent venues and stuff like that. Is that if you are operating in so many states, if you're international, operating in other countries, then it's like, all right, you're too big for this.
Right.
This effort, at least.
Which for sure, I sympathize with those big venues too, but it's so nice because it means that the smaller venues that we were worried about, not opening in 2021 or 2022, have a bigger shot to actually stay here and be relevant. So that's really, really good. But of course, there has to be a lot of work still done because that's all just on paper what's supposed to happen. We don't actually know what's going to happen because right now, if I may say this, Congress decided to spend a week and a half impeaching somebody that's about to leave instead of focusing on unemployment benefits and everything else that just fucking ran out. Listen, I hate Donald Trump as much as a lot of people do, but so much time is going to be wasted.
fan.
So much.
Capitol Hill is ours.
So
This is jokes, folks.
Fuck off.
Jokes.
that was really funny. But goddamn, guys, like, people have lost their jobs, people are losing their homes, and all the senators and, you know, House of Representative people are doing is just, they're doing this for show. They're doing this 100%
Well, that's all politics
for
have
show.
become, is performative.
And it's so fucking annoying. So anyway, long way to go with
Yeah.
NIVA, National Independent Venue Association, and Save Our Stages, but good things are happening.
Good things are happening, and we'll get more into that. Actually, you know, I'll just wait to bring this up.
Sure,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I just wanted to also tie it in with just Illinois in general. Like, I heard
Yeah.
that Chicago Mayor Lori
There we
Lightfoot
go.
actually today is breaking that she's going to talk with Pritzker to potentially consider reopening, like, restaurants and bars, which would hopefully also lead to, like, smaller venues. And the reason why this is super important is because, first of all,
Because bars and restaurants aren't the problem.
they really aren't necessarily the problem, especially if they're doing it right.
Well, that's. I mean, that was what was infuriating to everyone in the food industry is that, like, you're shutting down the people who it's their job to make sure that everything is sanitary and safe for their customers. Because if one person gets sick and can trace it back to their meal or whatever,
Everyone, yeah,
They're
the whole
fucked.
thing's shut down.
they are screwed.
Right.
If they, because I mean, health inspectors are always up restaurants' asses, especially
As they should be.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, as it should be, right?
But, like, these people, these businesses are the most law-abiding, rule-following folk. It's like the most rule-following industry. They have to meet these standards for the safety of their customers. You know?
Right? Yeah, 100%.
You know, they're liable for that. They're making their food. And so then to go and turn around and be like, you guys are the problem, shut you down, you're doing everything wrong, it's not enough, you're the most risky place to be in this, which is just not unfound. What are you doing?
It's the sign language for bullshit.
bullshit.
Oh shit, you're right.
Nice.
Yes.
Bullshit. Thank you. Yeah.
like-
Especially because
Yeah.
so many restaurants and bars and small in junction with that small venues, right? Because a lot of them also function as small venues.
Yes.
Really, when coronavirus hit, did do a lot of the right things. They started like distancing tables, sanitizing, whatever.
Right. Restaurants got air filters.
They got
UV
filters.
light filters
Yeah.
and, air purifiers
And
and like
what-
everything and that cost a ton of money to install
Right.
those things. And a lot of restaurants did that. And then they get told they have to shut down.
So
again.
first they told them they have a chance of staying
Yeah.
open so if you do all this and spend all this money. And then they spend all this money, all of a sudden they have no way of making it back because they're shut down.
Right.
Right? Which is a huge, huge problem. And then some people go ahead and do something that's... I never understood this. So some venues opened up outdoor restaurants that were brick and mortar. Like, there are cabins,
Yes.
like Christmas cabins that went all the rage in December.
Mm-hmm.
It's putting the inside, outside, inside again.
Yeah.
You know, they're like... They're
Yeah.
literally... I'm sorry, I just get so pissed. They're in wood. It's little wood cabins. You know, and I get that's supposed to stop the spread of COVID-19, but what's the point of going outside if you're just going to put what was inside back outside and waste a lot of money again in doing this?
And then you have Target completely crowded on Black Friday.
Yeah, and Target was so crowded
And they're
on
fine.
Black Friday,
They're fine.
and that's
Do it.
fine,
Do-
and they
yeah.
can do whatever they want. And it's, again, we have to be careful because obviously coronavirus is super deadly. I mean, and people are,
Well,
not super deadly. People,
to
right, to a
certain
portion of the
demographics,
population,
yes.
it's very deadly. And regardless, it's very easily contracted.
not trying to minimize.
Right, it's very easily contracted, right?
Yes. And that's
Much
the
more than
problem.
the flu, and that's the
Right.
biggest problem. So we have to be careful, but to have... it pisses me off, and I think for both of you here, too, it does as well, that people who are able to work from home for this whole time have been kind of shitting on these businesses that have been trying to stay open, shut down, stay open, shut down, stay open again, when all they're doing is trying to make a living, right?
Yes, and that's what
And then they
people
don't
forget.
realize is like a lot of these places aren't eligible for unemployment because they technically have a small business that makes over X amount of money that now is not able to function. So they can't, like, how are people supposed to put food on the table? How are people supposed to pay rent? You know, whatever, pay mortgage. So it's very good that hopefully at least these talks are starting up again.
Right.
And for the sake of, too, the next point, which I want to bring in, which is illegal shows. So many illegal shows have started happening.
And this is one of Lightfoot's points.
Right. So many. And part of me wants to be a little annoyed at that, but part of me also completely understands why people are doing illegal shows. To a certain extent. Okay? I'm not going to name names. There are some places that have held
Chain
white
smokers
supremacy.
can go fuck themselves.
Well, chain smokers can go fuck themselves. And there's actually one or two places in Illinois that have allowed neo-Nazi flags, allowed shit into the venue that they shouldn't have allowed.
Can we name names? Is that allowed?
Should I?
Does it start with a B?
Brower House?
Does it start with a B?
Okay. Yeah, so we can't excuse fucking Brower House, right? That is... What the fuck, man, are you actually doing? Like, literally, what the fuck? But at the same time, small places that have, like, a tent outside, right? Where they put a performer in. That's the type of illegal shows we're talking about here.
Yes.
And then the artists, a lot of times, are also put in these fucking situations where there aren't... Luckily, 2020, I think, wasn't there, like, an unemployment thing passed specifically for artists that they're able to apply for now? Or, like, people who work...
Yeah, finally, but it took...
Not artists, but, like, people who work...
months.
Like 1099s and
Freelance,
freelancers, right?
yeah.
But it took so fucking long. And some of those people might still not have gotten much money from that program.
Yeah.
Because the system got overloaded with unemployment.
Uh-huh.
So, and I'm bringing this up not to necessarily, like, make people feel bad, but we have to, when we're saying things on the internet about, you know, staying home and whatever, we have to understand that some people literally need to put food on the table, and they need to do something for a living.
Maybe put yourself in their shoes.
Right.
I think that might be called empathy. I'm not a dictionary extraordinaire.
Yeah.
But I think that might be the proper term here. Maybe
Right.
just some shred of human compassion towards other humans.
Mm-hmm.
One of the funniest things I saw on Facebook about this thing, I mean, not only was I just so annoyed and disgusted
the
with...
bottom of this, bro.
Good? Chocolate?
Have you guys gotten to the bottom?
No, not yet.
Okay, keep going.
No.
So good.
No spoilers.
Sounds like there's cocaine in the bottom.
It's really good.
Hopewell, you're doing something good. Alright, but yeah, I mean, on top of all the people that were like, my favorite pastime right now is calling out all the restaurants and trying to get them, you know, fined and shit, or, you know, I can't believe all these restaurants are trying to stay open, like, don't you care about grandma, and, like, you're killing people. It's like, well, no, you're really oversimplifying this. But one thing that I just felt like captured the overall vibe where most of these critiques were coming from was this one kid, was going on about this topic, you know, saying all the right things, you know, about you're ruining it for the rest of us. You know, why can't you just abide by the rules? Yada yada yada. You're endangering everyone. Not being able to see the point of owning a business that is already has such a small profit margin. Like,
that's another big...
Restaurants
God damn.
They're not making bank. Even
most of them are barely above the red.
Right.
Too.
So
what are we expecting of them?
And one guy just in the comments was like, "Hey, can I ask you if you live at home right now, or like, do you live at home right now?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, but what does that matter?"
People forget.
And the guy was like,
people forget.
"I don't. That's all that needs to be said here."
Yeah.
It's like,
'cause,
yeah, if you're...
well,
I mean, I feel like that's the mentality of most of the people that are screaming on Facebook, is like, they have the comfortability of leaning on other family for a place to stay or housing. But when you're owning a business and trying to provide for a family, or even just yourself, like, you either close and you lose everything because you're not getting enough financial support, or you try and stay open, follow everything you can, all the safety precautions, do everything you can to make it safe, have a fighting chance, because yeah, if they fine you, then you're screwed and you lose everything too. But you, like, That's the options that they were given.
Right. And there's a quote I want to see right here. Lightfoot said, go up a little bit.
Oops.
This is just exactly what you were talking about. She wanted to get those businesses reopened as quickly as possible because restaurants are highly regulated for health and safety purposes.
Yes.
As we just said at the beginning of this conversation.
Because
regularly inspected
they've
all
gone,
the time. And they've gone above
quote,
and beyond.
above and beyond to
Quote,
put in
above
mitigations to protect customers and staff.
And of course there's going to be some that don't do that. I read in a report, someone was like, you know, one of the things that went viral was someone who worked at a local restaurant, that their owner was somebody who didn't believe in COVID and was being a whole fucking dick about it. Which, yes, we're going to always have those people. But then that's when you close those places down. That's when you whatever. Don't punish the 90% rest of venues and small restaurants that are trying to actually work with this, right? And make a living. And just have empathy, right? You don't know what these people are going through. Just in an ideal world, too, where we can get like $2,000, whatever, like a bunch of money from the government to not work, that'd be great. But it's not what's happening right now.
Right.
So people need to be realistic. And sorry we're getting so passionate about this, but damn, it's just so...
It's been how many months?
It's been how many months, right? It's going to be a year in March since restaurants and bars and venues were closed down. Not for all businesses, but those three in March.
They were the first to close, and they're going to be the last to open.
Right.
And they've received probably the smallest amount of help.
The bare minimum, not even for most people.
And
so,
it just makes no sense. I mean, the impact they have on the economy as a whole and the domino
economic
effect.
multipliers. Yeah.
It's just... And I think it's easy to get caught up in the sides of...
That's what I was about to say, too.
Today. Like, it's so easy to just get in your thought bubble and just be like,
go for it.
Open is bad and dangerous and yada yada yada.
And automatically means you're a conservative if you like help out restaurants, or you're a right-wing radical if you say that restaurants want to reopen.
Yeah.
You know,
and that's denying the facts.
That's denying the facts.
I mean, some people say, experts say it's the riskiest place, restaurants and stuff like that. And other experts say, no, it's not. It's really... They've seen actually the smallest, well, not the smallest, but like they're on the near the bottom of the list of where the outbreaks are happening.
Most of the outbreaks happen when people just leave home, go to parties, do whatever the fuck they want.
And that happens way more often when you take all the outlets away from people. They're going to resort. They're not going to just stop. You know, it's been too long. People are fatigued. They're done. And whether or not they should be done, or, you know, everyone has their own limit.
Right, yeah.
But it's come to a point in this big battle, this epidemic, where people are going to start just doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
And putting more restrictions on that is going to cause more, less safe gatherings. Because people are going to gather now. You know, you're not going to stop that. People are. It's come to a point where people are going to do what they're going to do.
How do we make it safe?
And
opening up restaurants and bars that fucking have already followed these rules.
If people are going to do what they're going to do, at least try and let them do it in a place where we can control it as much as we can with the safety precautions. We can control the safety precautions of bars and restaurants. So if people want to go out, let them go out there instead of gathering in, you know, private homes,
unsafe spaces, right?
50 people parties, because people are at their limits and they need to blow off steam.
And I don't agree with Lightfoot a lot, but I'm so glad she said this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she said this.
And yeah, I mean, one of the other things that I want to bring up is that it's another part of the problem is the communication throughout this whole thing has completely sucked. Not only between each other and our fellow humans, but the government,
local government, state government, national government.
Disgusting job of
There's no
communicating the actual... I mean, it's mostly just been fear-mongering and doom and gloom because they think that's the most effective tactic to get people to do what they think is necessary.
I'd also argue, though,
you've helped create those extreme sides. You know, part of it to blame is on the people for letting themselves go into a side, but a lot of the blame is the government fostering these kind of things and pushing this these sides, and just for example, LA, you can have outside stuff year round, but yet everything is completely closed.
Well, right now though they're going through like a massive outbreak where, right.
But
because
not because things were open.
No, because they were having parties. They were having private parties all the time.
They were closed before the surges were happening.
And also the fact that the governor broke the laws twice.
Oh, well,
and it leaked.
Every governor.
Well, yeah, and then it leaked, and then people stopped believing you.
Yes,
the people
true. Once you become a hypocrite, nobody gives a shit what you say.
And God, why did they do that? It just shows the disconnect, man.
Yeah, but then you have New York.
Disconnect between the people and the government.
But look at New York.
Right.
No one in their right mind would want to eat outside in New York in the winter, but they're allowing outdoor dining. And I don't know what their indoor rules are, but I mean, New York is at least trying to get shit done, and then you have Chicago.
Well, New York also has issues, though, because they tried to, what was it? I'll remember for the next...
I'm just saying, look at the inconsistency.
Yeah, the inconsistency, correct.
And the lack of logic.
And the lack of...
Cold, open outside, warm all the time, closed everything down. Like...
Lack of unity between the people at the top. Like, when something like this happens, you put things aside and you decide to stop, don't fearmonger, work together, and make rules that help people survive financially and mentally and etc. And they haven't done that. They've created this into a blue and red issue.
Yes.
A fucking pandemic and economic collapse is a blue and red issue. Because there's going to be economic problems for the next year or two now.
Are you saying that you care more about the economy than human lives?
No. Yes.
You Nazi.
Well, because that's going to reflect on, our retirement funds, our fucking everything. And employment ran out already in the summer. It's going to run out again soon, right?
This is why I drink.
Okay, anyway, yeah. God, this is going way beyond music, but...
Well, it all ties in, because it's all affecting,
you want another one? If you want one.
Still finish this.
Okay. It's here if you need it.
Let's bring it back to good news.
To good news. What's on the list again?
To light side
What's on the
things.
list of good news?
Not much, but I'm going to try at least. First, let's close what we were just ranting about.
Yes.
With just, let me say this.
You can say it, Dan. Go ahead. Yes, for permission.
Go listen to Ryan Herrick's instrumental singles right now.
Yes.
And,
It'll calm your ass down.
All right?
That's right.
Listen to Ryan Herrick.
Not just the album, the whole fucking discography. Calm down.
Just calm the fuck down.
There we go. Beautiful.
And then once you're calm, you're in a zen state. Let empathy come in.
Flow through you.
I'm not saying throw out concern and throw out, what you believe, but just maybe put yourself in other people's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Examine everything. Take the time to actually read differing opinions, differing studies, differing scientists, experts, because, even amongst experts, there will be disagreements.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get a little bit outside your bubble.
Mm-hmm.
What you're reading on Facebook in your newsfeed
Facebook
isn't the end-all be-all.
Facebook is not news. Go to websites. Go to news sources. Compare them.
I hate to break it to you.
Don't read
but
Twitter headlines.
There's always a middle ground. It's never as easy as right and wrong and black and white. I'm probably the most
Dude,
some people have been pushed to extreme
100%.
Right. I've been pushed into extreme middle.
Yes. Yes.
I think you're all fucking morons.
Because, no, seriously, I wrote this on my fucking journal the other day. The more I live life, the more I realize there's no fucking binary. It's all gray. It's all a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum. And the only reason it becomes too, black and white is when people try to force it into those issues so that we can become enemies of each other.
So, with that, let's start moving forward.
Yes.
Let's get some money from Biden, because that is some good news. And I'm not crediting it to Biden.
Yeah, but
I'm crediting it.
But money
crediting it to
gonna help us survive.
The administration and the addiction of wanting to win elections and re-election and beating Republicans. But whatever. The good that's going to come from it, I think this is really new, but they're already starting to discuss the next stimulus.
Yeah.
It's going to be...
This was breaking tonight.
$1,400 extended unemployment.
This isn't
to
confirmed
September.
yet.
It's not confirmed, but it's in talks.
But this is what was talked about tonight,
And
yeah.
let's just say, after recent events, there's not going to be much resistance, in my opinion, to these efforts that the Democratic Party are trying to push. But yeah, so there's more good that's on the way. Vaccines rollout is off to a horrible start, but it's happening.
It's happening.
It's off to a botched start, but it is happening. Worst case scenario, I think, fall 2021. I am hoping for sooner because,
Yeah.
not only will vaccines will be coming out and reaching more people, especially the most high-risk people, which is the most important part, but also just historically looking at this, pandemics and diseases on like this scale tend to start diminishing and fizzling out 18 months after they appear, no matter what humanity tries to do. Like, it eventually does run its course. So even if we do continue to completely botch this vaccine rollout, the summer there should be like a sigh. You can breathe again. Things will start being able to, like, people can talk about going out and having a party and not being condemned. And
Here's for hoping their vaccines that they fixed.
Can I add something?
Add, Josh.
Yeah. Something I've been thinking about is just like your mental health diet, so to speak. So like what you feed your brain.
A whole nother facet that we have not even gotten into.
Yeah. What you feed your brain. So like social media in that case, like you could say.
You want to get a little bit closer to the mic now?
Sure. Social media in some cases you could say is like just purely sugar if you want to boil it down to actual like dietary comparisons. And like sugar is nice, sugar is good, it's tasty for sure, but you have to balance that out with other things. So for the people who are listening at home, just be really mindful of what you're feeding your brain, because that's what's the beautiful thing about how humanity has evolved, is that we're self-aware, we have intellect, despite how stupid you might think someone else is on Facebook. Like, that person is still a person, and that person has gone through experiences that you haven't, whether you want to admit that or not. So just be mindful of what you're feeding yourself.
Well put, Josh. Thank you so much.
Words of wisdom.
With that, I'm going to crack a beer.
Go for it. You deserve
Thank you.
it after that.
There you go. All right, moving on.
That soothing noise.
Right.
Yeah, and what just surprised me, I'm sorry, but hey, this is the Underbelly After-Hours.
That's fine. I'm just gonna say really quick. How about we save the live stream efforts for something?
Oh yeah,
that could be a whole nother topic. But let's
nother...
save that. But continue. Yes.
I was just honestly surprised with the music scene and how ideological they became with all this. I mean, musicians are supposed to be...
It's emotional warfare, my friend.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised at all, because we're all empathetic people. So when we feed ourselves, like Josh was saying, a lot of the same type of news, all the same types of stuff, man, I mean, a lot of these things are saying, if you are a restaurant owner and you open up right now, you are killing people. You are the worst, enemy humanity has right now. And when you read a lot of those articles, you start to believe that. I don't feel like it's... I understand why the music community started to become so extremely divided. It's sad, but I understand completely why.
Yeah, because
people are using emotional warfare.
That's a good point.
Right?
Emotional warfare, and when empaths, like a lot of musicians,
dude, I had like no feelings
they'll
this whole fucking
they'll fall on either side that tugs on whichever heartstrings that you get sucked into first. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess it saddened me because the music community was always the most connected and loving, of all the communities I've ever experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to see the complete
People are, it's
disregard
like, I also wonder,
the other side.
Right, I mean, well, it's the whole thing too. People just don't recognize what people are going through. People think that because I'm getting unemployment money, everyone's getting unemployment money. Because I'm getting this, everyone's getting this.
Yeah.
But again, going back to the whole discussion we just had, the government has been so fragmented about everything. Nobody is in a stable point right now. Almost nobody. Few people are.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we don't have listeners now who've turned away because we've said this. I really hope we don't. I hope you guys have listened all the way through, but we need to start talking about things. We need to be honest about these fucking things. Right?
Yeah. And
that's a problem if we're not.
Right, and that was another reason that we wanted to do these bonus
After
episodes,
hours,
these after hours, is because I mean we have a lot of experiences in the music scene, in the music community, and we know so many people now because of it, and
it's a
like
great thing. Yeah,
we see the bad and the good, and we have our opinions, and we feel like we have a right to voice them, and we feel like we're as unbiased as we can be, and we just try. I mean, we're really looking out for. We just want everyone to succeed.
Yeah.
Really. And yeah, we have opinions, and we're gonna share them, and I hope that you guys join us and share yours with us tw. You know,
that's a big one, yeah.
Right. Like if you disagree with us, we'd love to hear it, and if you agree with us, we'd love to hear your perspective on what parts you agree with most, and vice versa, disagree with most, because I mean we got to get that connectedness back. We really got to start rebuilding and rejoining and healing, because I mean everyone has been hurt by this and has suffered some kind of loss, and even if you were lucky enough to not lose your job and remain employed, and you didn't risk losing a lot more, you've still suffered a loss of just connection.
And we all know people who've lost jobs,
Yes.
and we know people who, at this point, who've gotten either very ill or maybe even passed away, I would argue.
Right. The most tragic. And it's the time of divide has to stop, and we just got to start healing, and I think communication and talking is how you start doing that, and hearing differing opinions. So we're going to keep voicing ours. It's not always going to be this serious.
No.
Right.
I wrote down K-pop as a potential
Yes.
thing for
Nice.
a future topic.
But we just felt
It's not
like...
BTS!
BTS.
Boom. We just felt like with
Right.
everything going on, we can't
It's
not talk
impossible
about
to
this.
ignore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, it's on everyone's mind. And we feel compelled to talk about it because we're talking about it all the time too, It's an outlet for us as much as it can be maybe another input for you guys. But yeah, I think I've exhausted all my points on
this. I think
on
I
this.
have too. Because we've talked about the good too. The fact that people are literally, when they have this opportunity to have small venues and stuff, most of the time are following the rules. If they're not, they should be punished.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people who do, right? And I think that that was the main point to be made.
I think Lightfoot has a good chance of succeeding with her efforts, and just the amount of just solo artists that will, like, I know it's not everybody, but you still got to be rooting for everyone to get their chance. And right now with restaurants and bars having a shot to reopen, you at least offer a chance for maybe the solo artists or duos to inhabit a little area of the restaurant to provide some live music, maybe get a little bit of cash, probably not,
Right. But it doesn't matter, it's something.
But also, it's not even about the money too. It's like people, just what live music does for the soul, honestly. I mean,
fuck yeah. I was thinking when I was listening to Thompson Springs on the way back home, like, God, I can't wait to be listening to this music in a crowd of people again.
Like,
yeah,
when we did the Underbelly Hours on Wheels this summer,
dude, fucking
my buddy
loved
Sam
it.
Yost came out,
Yeah.
and he's from DeKalb, and the first thing he said to me when he came out, he's like, dude, it feels so good to just hear live music again. And that was only in July.
And it was like acoustic people.
Yeah, and it was just acoustic, unamped.
We were
in a
driving
park.
to people, like, to different parks. Right, exactly. Raising money. That's all we were doing.
And he was just, like, the joy on his face. You could see his soul just recharging.
And the park people, too.
And the park
There's
people.
some people who walked away, for sure. But there's people who are just, like, you know, kind of, like, looking around with their kids and stuff, trying to, like, see what we were doing. Because, like, man, it helps so much. Music soothes the soul, for sure. And I had one more point that I want to make, and I completely forgot it. It's about live. When you're talking about, like, solo artists... Fuck, what was I going to say? Solo artists in places, money, blah, 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 blah.
It's not about the money, it's about the music.
Well, it's not about the money, it's about the music. But also, for some people, they don't have the money to buy a camera right now.
Yeah.
They're unemployed. They don't have money to buy, you know, extra internet to do streaming. So for those people who are artists, I mean, and sometimes they can try to, like, get a job somewhere else, but sometimes it doesn't work out either.
Right.
So, y'all, we need to be understanding of each other's situations.
As accessible as it's become in the modern age to be able to record your own music and Ableton and Fruity Loops and beats, y'all. Yo, fam, check out this hot track.
It's a sick beat.
There's a lot of people that still, like, there's still a barrier of entry there.
Yeah.
And
for a level that people want to enjoy, like, that much, they want to pay money for it, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a bit, like, because you can stream on your cell phone, but if it's, like, really shady quality and sometimes you're cutting out, people aren't going to tip you. And I wish it was different, but they're not, right?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, there's so much out there.
Because there's so much. Anyway, that's another just side thing I wanted to bring, because, y'all...
Stay positive. Stay listening. And I don't mean, like, to us, but to us, too. But, like, stay listening to each other.
Yeah.
And stay listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
And things will be getting better. Indubitably. As many articles that are trying to say, like, oh, coronavirus is here forever. Don't expect shows to come back until 2028. It's like, alright, chill out.
Yeah.
It's not that doom and gloom. Don't buy into every fear-mongering headline you read.
It might be here for a while, but we'll be able to beat it to a certain extent so we can have shows again, right?
There'll be something that we can live with. So if you read those headlines where it's like,
technology's at the point. When have we made a vaccine so fast? It's because of technology. It's because of all the money that was thrown at it.
Yeah.
Literally,
and
y'all.
The biochips that they're injecting into you
no!
to keep track of you.
Damn, we're doing so good.
Keep track of every move.
It's the nanomachine.
It's the nanomachines. Did you see the schematics? It was in guitar pedals this entire time.
It was in the guitar pedals. We should have been watching the guitar pedals.
Of course it came from the guitarist.
Time.
Fucking bastards.
Those vain ass.
Said the guitarist.
Alright, so, let's try and wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up.
We're going to experiment with a closing segment.
Yeah.
I
feel like Josh should be here. Do you want to roast with us?
Oh, he's roast.
Roast and toast. Okay.
So, we're going to try this thing where we roast with a toast.
That's right.
I
don't want to crack open a new beer, though.
Oh, you can. I mean,
that's fine. Okay.
We're hanging out. This is the Underbelly After-Hours.
That's true.
Right? Guys, it's 2 in the morning.
It's not 2 in the morning.
I have done copious amounts of acid,
move
cocaine,
your butt.
And the like.
Yeah. Just look at those pupils. They're golf balls.
Actually, though.
Are they?
Actually,
oh.
That was a joke. I didn't think he was actually making.
But yeah, so not only do we have opinions on whatever is happening in the world,
music, entertainment,
but we also have opinions on music too. We can't everything as much as we would love to, but we have our musical preferences, and sometimes it's fun to poke fun at the music that we enjoy and don't like. Did you just?
Yep.
Do you know how to open a fucking beer?
Apparently not. I thought I did.
Anyways, this is going to be our little tongue-in-cheek
Segment.
listening experience where we listen to a tune
Oh no. What?
and we poke fun a little bit. We roast it, but all
Yes.
in good nature, fun, good faith. Because I mean, we enjoy the music.
That's
too.
true. That's true.
But it's fun to be.
It's fun to make fun of things.
Fun to make fun of
and
things.
because
Keep it
it
lighthearted.
would only be fair to other people
Yeah.
that we're going to make fun of in the future. We have to start with ourselves.
Exactly.
And I'm very nervous because I volunteered myself to
Yes,
go
you did.
first.
Yes.
And
you
now Dan's about to look it up, and we'll see what the fuck happens.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn
did.
on the
So
speaker.
you want to introduce?
I'll introduce
this
it, sure.
song in time?
So it's part of the group. I love the way that sounds. It's so much fun.
Right?
In time, go to.
Oh, I'm going into the gray.
Oh no, yeah.
What is it?
Go to In Time Chicago, I think at bandcamp.com or something like
Oh, is
that.
this a different in time?
Yeah, because that's just my demo before
Bastard.
we finally made. Okay, I have this duet with my friend Michael, and we finally made social media for it recently. And we released a song called Into the Gray. I had a whole campaign planned out. I did some things leading up to it, some little clips. I was gonna continue doing clips afterwards, but then people stormed the Capitol, and I had a shit day at work, so I stopped.
Those damn Capitol stormers
Yeah.
raining on my parade.
So I literally stopped my campaign, but it's called Into the Gray. The melody's actually made by our composer friend who now lives in Los Angeles. He sent us this.
God help him.
Yeah, God help him. I love you, Ari. You are so brave and such a great guy, and I hope you're doing okay out there in the craziness that's LA right now.
How many homeless people have you befriended?
Yeah, if you want to answer that, go ahead too. He
All
made
you
the
gotta do
melody.
is walk down a sidewalk.
Oof. He made the melody, I made the lyrics and chords, and then Michael kind of edited some of the chords, and we did a home recording of it, so it's not the best quality, but everything's been home recorded this 2020, so not like it's exactly anything different. I'm very scared, but we're gonna do this.
Yeah, we're
It's
gonna
called
take
Into
a
the
listen.
Gray.
You released it last year?
I released it
Yeah.
the 1st of 2021.
Shall we toast before we
Let's
roast?
Roast and toast.
Roast and toast.
And here. Oh no.
That's brightness.
That's brightness.
There we go.
Oh no. I'm just gonna sink into. Like,
That's fine.
That's alright.
No, it's nice. It's pretty. It's pretty.
Is it like a bass? Was it like trying to sound low or something?
Alright. Alright.
Bus stops get lonely when days fall into the grass.
Did you record the vocals into your phone?
I went into GarageBand and clicked the megaphone option because my audio was really bad.
She recorded on one of those wax cylinders.
Oh, right.
From like the
Edison.
1800s. Yeah, Edison.
Nice.
Making powders of love and living 21
Keys.
years the same. Your silence of dreams.
So you know some music theory, do you?
We still
Was that chromaticis in my head?
could change.
See, you know those indie films that try to be really artsy and have a lot of meaning, but
Yeah.
end up just being riddled with cliches and say nothing.
Yep.
This would be a great end credits music to
This
that.
belongs in a what's it called? What's the guy's name? God damn it.
Nat Wolf.
Budapest
Oh,
Hotel.
Budapest. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
That
It's
guy.
just got enough pretentiousness to it to be like, but it's art.
And then I told her I love her. And I walked off on a dirt path.
Yeah.
There's literally a dirt path on the album cover.
You trying to like match the vibe of the song or something?
Yeah, one of those movies that like nothing good happens to the protagonist, but he still comes out like looking ahead as if like nothing happened because that's supposed to mean something.
I think we call that indie cinema.
You know what I call that?
What do you call that?
Bullshit.
Stop trying.
It's not realist at all.
I'm glad I didn't add the fucking orchestral part I was gonna add right here.
I mean, I get where you're going for with the cover art,
Right. Uh-oh.
but could you pick, I don't know, a place more interesting than bumfuck Illinois?
It's actually Wisconsin.
Oh, even worse.
You got a dirt path. Couldn't you even have like a paved dirt path? Like some little more.
I thought it was funny because there's a hole in that tree. And I don't know why it's there.
You know what I think is funny?
What?
The song. No, it's really pretty melody.
Yeah, Ari, you did a great job.
Yeah.
We're not roasting Ari at all.
The
No.
lyrics. So there's a progression of time. 21 years, the same. Were you 21?
No, I wrote it when I was 21.
You wrote it when you were 21. I thought you knew something.
When I thought I knew something, and it
Yeah.
turns out I know absolutely nothing.
When
Had
you
your
thought-
first sip of alcohol.
Grow some hair on that shit.
Oh my god.
Cut that out. Cut it.
You think like distortion on guitar sounds good or something?
Oh, fuck off. I don't even have anything bad to say about that guitar part.
That's Michael. Michael, you rock. Lovely. And that's it.
You know, I really loved it.
Oh, thank you.
I enjoyed that very thoroughly.
Thank you. It is
As much-
It's super chill.
Can we say it is a little pretentious?
Oh, it is not. It's.
I think
it's
a little bit.
I genuinely disagree. Like
Yeah?
real
Yes,
talk for a
real
minute.
talk.
Like,
Okay.
Now this is
Like-
where we toast to the song.
yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
Aw,
it's super
thanks.
chill. Like whatever chromaticism, sure. Secondary dominance, sure. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Like that happens all the time in music. That's not pretentious. Like that
Okay.
was really lovely. It was decorated
I
really
think-
nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wonder if the
it was
lyrics are a
layered
little
nicely.
too convoluted though, because it's about kind of nostalgia. It's
No.
about going forward
No,
after
it conveys.
feeling like you losing yourself a little bit.
No, and
not
that
sure where
totally
you're
conveys.
going. Okay.
I mean, I love the imagery. Let me compare it with the first verse.
Oh no.
Friends stop forgiving when they don't meet face to face.
Yep. And now it's the
Like
pandemic.
it's true.
Yeah.
That's
It's so
relatable
true.
as fuck.
Yeah,
relatable.
Are you kidding me?
right.
Like,
And I wrote that when there wasn't a pandemic, right? I
Right.
wrote that a year and a half ago about.
isn't that funny how
That's so funny.
like prophetic songwriting can be?
Yeah.
Like I've experienced that too, where I write a song, and I think I'm writing in character,
Yeah.
but 2 years later I'm like, oh shit, this is just me now.
Right.
How
Yeah.
the hell did that
Should
happen?
get you a chair, my friend.
Eh.
But no, I love the imagery of the bus stops at the beginning of the verses. Yeah, no, I mean the lyrics are great. I love them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is I think an example of like less is more
Yeah.
in songwriting.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what the guitar melodies were adding to the end was kind of quoting the melody and just like had a really nice like additive nature to it. So like it felt like it was adding to the melody rather than just simply repeating it.
Right. We definitely wouldn't want to go in a whole another direction either with the guitar solo parts. We didn't want to like make it too busy. That was another
Right,
thing we kept
right.
fighting is like making it too busy because it's very supposed to be simplistic.
Right. Well, I think what achieved maybe what you I don't know. Were you trying to?
Go for it. Yeah.
Well, like the guitar part once that second guitar part comes and harmonizes with it.
Yeah.
That keeps it simple but still
Interesting.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just a single note like.
Right.
But you get a little bit more of a filled out sound without sounding too muddled.
Really
Muddied.
nice. And those subtle piano melodies are really nice.
Yeah, no, it's overall a great song.
Thank you.
And I loved roasting it. Thank you so much for participating in that.
It was actually a lot of fun when it was happening. I was really
Yeah.
scared, but it was good. It was fun.
No, I mean,
I hope others will also enjoy this experience.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm up next. So.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh.
Shit.
It's gonna be fun. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
But I hope you guys keep going.
Yeah, we just have to get back on track with social media and stuff. It's just hard because I want to have a certain image for this group that we're doing right
For
now.
sure.
It's definitely a bit more chill. It's definitely more like... I want it to be more about the music. I don't want to have like one of those... I have a social media account now that's more like about a personality because I'm on radio. And I already am a little bit fake enough as it is, I guess, on that. I don't try not to be super fake, but you have to be a little bit because you're not always happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
I want this social media to be much more about just the music. So
right.
being creative
sure.
about that, you know.
If this means anything,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I want to listen to on a gray day to make me feel better.
Oh, thank you. That actually means a lot.
Like when
Yeah.
Feel that.
it's gray, I mean, which pretty much going to be the rest of January probably.
Yeah. January's an awful month.
And this is going to be what I'm listening to, going into a coffee shop, getting my coffee, going for a walk.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be the uplifting silver lining to the gray days.
Sweet. Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah. Well,
And with that,
and with that,
I think that's our first episode
that's
of
our first
the Underbelly
so.
After-Hours.
yeah.
Perfect.
Well, I'm not
Thanks.
as buzzed as I thought I was going to get, but I guess we almost got there.
I mean, you could keep the other 2 cans if you want to really...
You can have him
Have
for
fun.
breakfast, Dan.
Oh, I will.
Oh.
Also, one last shout out
You
to
think I go into
Hopewell.
work sober?
I mean.
One last shout out to Hopewell Brewing for this really great
Yes.
Deluxe Imperial Chocolate Stout. Yes.
Delicious.
It's
And
amazing.
Final shout outs to our local highlights of the show, Ryan Herrick and Thompson Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Go check them out. We can't have any kind of Underbelly Hours thing without shouting out the local artists.
Right.
And follow In Time.
Thank you. Yeah. In Time, Chicago as Bandcamp, and then just In Time everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's one band that's still In Time, even though they're not very active, and they refuse to let go of their social media.
Fuck 'em.
Silence. So,
Welcome.
that's what it is. Yeah. And I
Alright.
guess we'll see you guys next
Hopefully we
time.
didn't lose too many of you. But those who are still around, we'd love
Thank
to
you.
see you again.
Mm-hmm. We'll be doing this hopefully every week, so
Yeah.
thank you. Once again, this has been another episode of the Underbelly After-Hours. How are we going to do this now that there's 3 of us here?
I don't know.
Josh, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, bye.
Say Josh.
Just say you're Josh.
Say your
I'm
Josh.
Josh.
Alright, and you're Adela.
And you're Dan.
And this has
Been another episode of the Underbelly After-Hours. Bye! God, we need to get more professional.
No, that's great.
No, it's
I love it.
fine.
Yeah? Okay.
Alright, stop recording in 3, 2, 1.
Like listening to new music? Want to know a band before they get popular? Tune into the Underbelly Hours, Sunday nights at 6 p.m. on WRSC 88.7 FM, and discover the best of local unsigned musicians. Don't miss out on the next big thing.